Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. So in Psychic Cafe, I'm going to go deeper into the daily read for today, Saturday the 30th of May, which is what the day is for me. Might not be for you yet, but it is for me. And so if you're watching the replay and you haven't watched the daily read already, I'm going to put a link sometime up there for it. So you can pause this, watch that, and then come back to get some more detail about it. But today's energy is all about setting ourselves free, making a break for freedom. And so restrictions, the way that you've been restricting yourself could be shown to you today. And I was seeing it as like a safety harness. You know, when you're climbing, you might not have climbed yourself, but you've seen other people climbing and they wear like something tied to the waist and it clips on. And it's like an extra safety harness so that if they drop, then they'll dangle from the waist, which isn't going to be so comfortable, but it's just that extra bit of safety. And this is what we do. We have these safety clips in our lives to keep us safe. Our ego puts them in place. Our ego trying to save us all the time from things that it thinks is going to kill us. And the thing is that these safety clips that we have, you know, whether it's beliefs that we've got or patterns that we do, things that we do over and over again, these safety harness things that we have in place in our lives stops us from having freedom. If you can imagine it, you know, like being safety clipped to your home so that you don't get coronavirus. You can't get out, you can't do things, you can't live life when you're like that. So, yeah, it curtails our freedom. So today's energies is like being made aware of how we are holding ourselves back. How we're holding ourselves back, how we're keeping ourselves in a safe and comfortable place, what we need to let go of. And so when you watch that daily read, I'd suggest that you do it, because when I first start talking about it, you feel called out. That's what my readings often feel like. I feel like I'm telling people off. Rock climbing. Yeah, I've done rock climbing. It's fun. I haven't done it on this island. I have got some friends that do rock climbing though. Maybe I should give it a go. Breaks your nails though. How are you both going? You good? Yeah. Yeah. When actually, if you watch the daily read, it'll kind of take you through a process, because when you actually hear the first part of it, there will be an idea. I mean, it'll pop into your mind how you're holding yourself back, and it should make you feel a bit scared to let it go. Only in a good way. Feeling called out in a good way. Sometimes I feel bad, especially the private reading. Sometimes I feel bad. I feel like I've just ranted at somebody and told them off. I'm like, how's that supportive? I know it is. Like, you know. I know it is. I know it's what I need to say, otherwise I wouldn't be getting that information through, but it does feel a bit like that sometimes. How are you, Stephanie? Are you good? Yeah, maybe I should do some climbing. Do something new. The card of the day is aging. Not seen this one before. Aging. I am one with unlimited love beyond all seeming restrictions of age. Oh, chickens outside. I am one with unlimited love beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am. I'm filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine Shakti. What I know about aging is that degeneration doesn't need to happen. Doesn't need to happen at all. I've shown that in my body. My body and my health is better now than it's ever been. And you're tired a bit. Oh, looking after a sick puppy. Oh, say it like it is. So yeah, I know that with proper diet and with proper exercise and all of that, taking care of yourself, good sleep, less stress, there's lots of things you can do to take care of yourself. You can actually regenerate. Eating is one of the most important things. Yeah. Hey Aphrodite, how are you? Stephanie, you like my style of reading? It's kind of different, isn't it? I haven't found any other readers that have got the similar kind of style. I'm very well, Aphrodite. I had such a lazy day yesterday. It was great. I stayed in bed all day pretty much. I came home at about 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. because I stayed at my man's place. And then just went to bed. I had a shower and went to bed. And then dozed on and off all day. Did some readings in the afternoon in bed. Sat in bed doing some readings, and it was good. And then lay in bed doing the advertising for those money reads with a twist of love. Have you watched yours yet, everybody? I published them last night on YouTube. Food's medicine. I don't know. People say that food is medicine. I think plants are medicine. But food, it's nutrition is what it is, not entertainment. And I can have food as entertainment. You know, I really enjoy my food. I can make it entertainment, but I'm much better off when I use it as nutrition and get the right things for my body so that it can heal itself and recover from training and stuff. Yeah, it was so nice, Aphrodite, and there was a big storm in the morning. It was just perfect. It started raining, and I thought, this is exactly how I feel today. Yeah, you listen to yours, Aphrodite. Oh yeah, I saw your message. I saw your comment on it. So I did no training. Leo, spot on for you. The Taurus is spot on for me too. Has everyone else watched yours? Yeah. I think this is my new thing now. For the half price specials, the bonus reads that I'll do it with a twist, so it'll be the reading that it is, but it'll have a twist of something else in it. Do I ever yearn for wintry weather just for the contrast? Sometimes when it's really hot, I yearn to be cold. I would like to have a cold shower. I'd like to be able to get into cold water. The ocean is like soup. It's hot. The pool here is hot. It's like getting into a bath. The shower, you can put it just on cold, but the pipes are outside. So it's hot. And the aircon is good. The fans are good. But sometimes I yearn to be properly cold. But then as soon as it gets a bit cold, because like it rained yesterday, and it's actually cold in the aircon now. It's not cold outside, it's steamy outside. You want to have a look. Look at the windows. You might be able to tell. They're all steamed up. The steam's on the outside. Because it's so humid out there, because it rained. But it took the temperature down a little bit, enough so that inside the aircon is doing quite well at the moment. So it's feeling nice and chill in here. Your imagination shuts down a lot in the summer. Yeah. It takes some getting used to the heat. It can slow you down. It can make people angry too. So, like, I train in the heat now. A lot of people, when they're visiting here, say from Europe, they will be used to cold. They're not used to training in heat, and it can be too much for them. And for me, training in the heat is great now. I've got used to it. You sweat a lot, but it's good for you. And it does take some getting used to. But you become acclimatized to it. And so now, sometimes I want a little bit of cold, but then when I experience it, it's enough. So it only ever gets cold here when we have rain for like 5 days. And then it'll get to about 26 degrees. That's as cold as it gets here. And yeah, and then I'm over it. And my feet are cold. I don't like my feet being cold. My feet are a bit cold now. Okay, let's go deeper into the daily read then, about this freedom thing. Yeah, so my half price reading sale is on at the moment. It's the abundance money reads, but with a twist of love. If you've got a twist of love in there, I mean, your money story, your abundance story might not be tied up at all with your love life or with relationships, but it might be. And if it is, I think, all the ones that I've done so far, did a few yesterday. 25 is perfect temperature. Oh no, it's cold. That's too cold for me, Aphrodite. It's about 32 to 35 at the moment here. Not today. Well, I don't know what it will be today. Not yesterday with the rain, but generally in the daytime it's about 31, 35. 29 to 31 is perfect for me. Yeah, so if anyone wants one of those abundance money reads with a twist of love, they're on half price. And then my prices go up on Monday. Prices go up on Monday. Let's just put a link to that in there. Dailies are interesting. Here's the link for the half price offer. There you go. The dailies are good at the moment. I'm getting a lot out of them. I'm doing my break for freedom is though. I need to book a massage. I need to book my next massage today. For Monday. It's coming up fast. 32 is still okay. Any higher can't really cope. Yeah, but Melbourne's heat is a dry heat, isn't it? I find it hard to cope with dry heat. Humidity, it messes up your hair, but it is kind of easier to deal with for me. Some people prefer dry heat. Humidity though, like today, if I was outside today, or when I go outside today, it's going to bother me. When it's cooler and it's very, very humid because it's been raining, I find it hard to train in that. Like I'm really poor with sweat. It doesn't even need to be hot. Well, it doesn't need to be hot for here. But the humidity bothers me when it's really, really humid. So today we've got this moment and release guilt. This could be connected with that freedom thing. Guilt can keep us locked into doing things. Being with people, doing things that we don't really want to do anymore. And so this could be your break for freedom today, is to release guilt and be in the moment and do what you want to do in the moment instead of doing things out of guilt, out of a feeling that you should do it or you need to do it. Interesting. Also, us wanting to know or wanting to control things, that can keep us locked up in this non-freedom thing as well. So detaching from that, needing to know, needing to be in control of it, and then going along for the ride with this mystery, on this mystery path that our higher self lays out, which is really better than everything, but I understand how stressful it is. Going along for that ride. It really is better. It brings better things into your life, but you've got to have a lot of faith and trust to go along on it. And so that's like the faith and trust is the freedom. But a lot of us shy away from that, don't detach from that, wanting to have that safety net, wanting to be in control, wanting to know what's going on, so wanting to control our lives, wanting to head our lives in a certain direction, instead of trusting that our higher self knows the best for us. So we've got to detach from that safety net, that tether that we have to the known, so that we can experience freedom. Difficult, yeah. Can be, yeah, because our egos are strong, our egos are trying to save us. They think that we're going to die if we set ourselves free. Resisting abundance. So this is where the money comes into it. I was hoping that the money would come into it somehow because of the half price reading sale. I'm like, really? Have I picked the wrong reading for the weekend? And so we can actually be resisting abundance. That can be part of our not being free thing. I haven't gone on my life. What am I doing? What am I doing? Walk to freedom. There we go. Join you on my live. Don't forget to click like on this. Just an order came in, that's why my phone woke me up from my slumber. Yeah, so abundance. Guaranteed abundance. This is what I know from my entrepreneurial journey. So if those of you that don't know my life story, I went to uni and graduated from uni pregnant with my eldest son. And when he was 6 months old, I was very poor. So poor, but I knew I had to get into work. And so I got myself a graduate job because I had to pay childcare fees. It didn't leave me with money to eat. Not that I ate money, but for food. So I was living on like white sliced bread, and oh man, it was hard. I bought myself a push bike, a bicycle, so that I could, and had a child seat fitted to the back of it, so I could get him to the childcare and get myself to work the cheapest possible way. And it was a struggle, a real struggle. But I knew to keep going because I knew I'd get a raise, and I did. I got a raise after about 3 months of being there. Worked for 8 years in corporate, paid me more and more and more and more. Worked less and less and less and less. Started doing term time so I could have all my time with my kids. I was married by them with 3 kids. And then, I just couldn't do it anymore because it was just soulless. I was working in artificial intelligence for an insurance company. I don't even believe in insurance. I don't get insurance because I understand the universe and the way it works. I know I don't need insurance. I've got insurance. It's called the universe. And so I always knew that, and so there I was working in a company that I didn't even believe in. But it was kind of interesting work because it was IT, and especially because it was artificial intelligence as well. So I was doing all of these neural networks that everyone's talking about now with the robots and the stuff that's coming out. And oh my God, has everyone heard about the videos? There's artificial intelligence now that can, it can watch my videos and watch me, and then it can create a video of me saying something, and you won't know the difference between me and it. And so there's so much false information out there now, false news out there, and it can appear like this evidence that somebody is saying something and has said something in person. Have you heard about that? It's the same thing. It uses neural networks anyway. I was working in that 8 years. I had to give it all up because it was soulless. And then I moved to Australia. But that leap of faith from that guaranteed income that was steadily increasing, really, they paid me so much money. I used to go in and do overtime sometimes, and just I used to know what my minute rate was, and I'd be adding it up. I've been here 10 minutes, ka-ching! It was like that. They paid me so much money, which was great because then I had lots of savings to move to Australia and start my own business. But that's what I did. I started my own business. Luckily, I had savings to set up that business and buy all the equipment for it and everything, and to tide me over. I was living off my savings for a couple of years there in Australia, until it got to the point where I ran out of money and I had to make the business work. But that's the entrepreneur's journey. You give up that guaranteed income and start trusting the universe, and it's a very interesting journey. But a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people, it's not even in their path to do that, right? It doesn't need to be. Not everyone should be entrepreneurs. Still need people to have the jobs and stuff, right? But this is what this is all about. It could be your safety net is a guaranteed income, which isn't abundance. That's not abundance. A guaranteed income isn't abundance. Abundance is different than that. Abundance is is the money coming in when you need it, is flowing in. That happened for me as well in my 20s when I was working in corporate. Even though I had this guaranteed income, I was abundant too. I was getting all kinds of, I'd do things like open a bank account or building society account, they were called then, and then they'd get a payout from them because they would be turned into a bank or something. I don't know, I can't remember, it was so long ago. And shares too. I was buying shares and things, and I bought a house and renovated it and made a lot of money on that, So I did have abundance going on, true abundance going on, but I also had the fixed salary too, which is kind of part of abundance, but not really. I wouldn't call that abundance. The other stuff that was going on definitely was abundance, like the making the money on the house and the shares and stuff like that. That was abundance. Because I used to sit there in the office and I was working with all these boring men because back then there wasn't many women in IT. And they were into the shares and stuff like that. And what would happen is I would use my gift. So they'd just be talking boring. I'd be working because I didn't want to join in with it. But then my higher self would like tap me on the shoulder, like, listen to this bit. And it would be like, it got get a bit louder, the conversation. I would hear like a name of a company. And then that evening I'd buy some shares in it. And that's how I made a heap of money. See, that's true abundance. I didn't need to have the boring conversations with them. I didn't need to find out about these companies. I just paid attention to my intuition when they were going on about it, and then bought the shares and made a heap of money. That's true abundance. And so this is about the resistance, the safety net, and the belief, the very strong core belief in a set salary kind of thing that keeps you locked into that. If you think that that's what abundance is, it can keep you locked into that, and it can have you missing the true abundance that's everywhere. So that could be your safety net, is the fixed income. So many people believe in a fixed income. They think that's what is real. But there's so much more available, like really so much more available. I am that encouragement. And you know what's happening now, especially here? I've got this lucky thing. I don't know what it is. But when I get involved in somewhere, like when I got involved with training, it got really busy, especially when I was managing the place. It got really busy. When I got my arm tattoo, like I don't know what to call him now. I used to call him my ex, but now I guess he's my thing. My man, he was, his shop's been really busy. He's been like tattooing from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Every day now, it got really busy. Same, the massage therapist. As soon as I get involved in someone's business or sit in the shop, it gets really busy, and everyone says it to me. I've got this abundance factor to me, and I bring it to people. They think I'm the lucky charm kind of thing. It keeps on happening. It's fun. So I've got an abundance vibe around me. I am that encouragement. Yeah, knowing ourselves. I think that's one of the big things that people are getting out of my money reads with a twist of love. The knowing themselves better. Probably from all of my readings, in fact, all of the YouTube readings. People are getting to know themselves better through them. It's really important. Knowing yourself, knowing how you tick, because we're not all the same. We're not all the same. That's why I do my readings. It's like a lot of business people that I know, they're like, why are you still doing that one-on-one stuff? You know, because this is what works. And the generic thing, me just doing a course, it doesn't work. Because, you know, I can tell Barbara one thing and tell Stephanie that. And it might send Stephanie backwards, send Barbara forward. It's always specific to the person, because we've got imbalances. Yeah, and that's why this Break for Freedom is specific for each person as well, because we can be tying ourselves down in different ways, and what's freedom for one person could be hell for another person, really. Could be bondage for another person. So we've got to know ourselves. We've been encouraged to know ourselves today. So things could be coming up today for you to get to know yourself better. Your motivations. That's what I got out of the Taurus reading anyway. It made me understand my motivations. Because money's not a motivator for me, even though I enjoy it. And I really enjoy it when a lot of money's coming in. It's great. It's not a motivator. It's not one of the motivating factors for me. Some people it is. Hey Mimi, how are you? Lots of people in the house today. So who wants a reading? The card today is aging. We don't need to age. I'm proof of that. We don't need to degenerate. That's what I mean. We age, but we don't need to degenerate. There's absolutely nothing in the body that says that we should degenerate when we age. It's just years, and it's just added up damage that we've been doing. And when we learn about the damage that we've been doing, and we don't do that damage anymore, the body rights itself again, it fixes itself. So aging card is today, and it says, I am one with unlimited love. beyond all seeming restrictions of age, and filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine Shakti. And so, yeah, if you want to know about the anti-aging thing, the prevention of degeneration, and all kinds of things, my weight loss coaching, it's all about that. It's not just about weight loss, but that tends to be the thing that brings people to it. It's about so much more than that, about having good metabolism, programming too, beliefs. But as I keep on saying, beliefs, you can have like a belief that your body will degenerate and that that's normal, and then you'll just see evidence of that, and so you'll never see the information or the people that aren't degenerating, and you'll never have access to that. That's why all the information, all the health information is out there, but a lot of people don't have access to it. A lot of people don't see it, or they're seeing the misinformation, believing in that. A friend of mine she's really, really insistent that she's got the correct information, and she hasn't. She's listened to propaganda and she thinks it's truth. But that's the way the universe works. If you've got a belief system, the universe can only ever give you confirmation of that. And so if you're believing that the body should degenerate in time, that you should age, then you're going to have access to that information only, and not the information where you don't. So it's really good to have an open mind, especially about the body, because it's amazing. Like all of the things, all of the healing things in the body, all of the systems that we have in our body to right itself. It's incredible. There's a lot of people trying to steer away from toxins and things like that, and really focusing on that. And you don't really need to do that, because the body has got these incredible systems. As long as you're giving it the right things so that it can work to the best of its ability. It sorts itself out. It doesn't need to degenerate. Okay, who wants one? Yeah, I'm good, Mimi, thanks. Stephanie. Stephanie's up first. Yeah, you got to be careful the messages you let in, but you don't know. They call it confirmation bias, that we see what we already believe in, kind of thing, and so you think it's truth. You see a lot of that now. The biggest turnaround. What's that guy? Fauci, is it? How can somebody have such a prominent job, not know basic information about how the immune system works? And it seems somebody taught him in the last week, because he's changed his mind on it. And it's like, how? How can somebody get themselves to such a prominent position in the health world and not know basic information about the immune system? It blew my mind. And I see it over and over again. There's people, really miseducated and uneducated people, putting themselves up there at the top with that basic information. Crazy town. But it's good that someone's teaching him the truth now. But insane that he's got a prominent position when he doesn't have basic information about health. So Stephanie, a willingness to be heard, a willingness to be up there and out there, to stand up and speak out. So you've got a fear that is preventing you, Stephanie, from being outspoken, putting yourself out there, really being heard. Yeah. So you're being asked just to be willing, Stephanie, to step up and be heard. So there's a fear there stopping you. That's your safety net. That's your harness, safety harness that you've got on. But you are on track to releasing it. It's all good. Just, be willing to stand up there and be heard. How does it happen, Barbara? What, somebody gets into a prominent position like that when they're idiots? Because they can have a belief about themselves. It's the idiots that have really strong beliefs about themselves. Those that aren't idiots, that have got some self-awareness, have got a humility because we know how much we don't know. Do you know what I mean? And we wouldn't put ourselves out there as some kind of an authority thing because we've got more sense than that. And so it's the idiots that do that. Aphrodite is next. How are you holding yourself back from freedom, Aphrodite? It's a work thing. Feels like freeing yourself from work. So this could be that mindset thing that I've been talking about. That mindset thing that I've been talking about as in work. You know, our higher selves, they don't see work as work. We see work as work from a human level. But our higher selves think of us as just living life. Like what we spend our time and energy doing is life. And we pursue our interests. That's the way our higher selves think of it. But from a human perspective, we've got life, and that's separate than work, and work is what we have to spend like majority of our time doing for money. We've got a completely warped way of looking at it from a human perspective. So yeah, Aphrodite, you're kind of locked into that work mindset thing. It's not setting you free. Grateful for it. It's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes gratitude can work against us. Sometimes gratitude can work against us when we're settling for less than we deserve. And so we can be ultra grateful for the scraps. Yeah, that's one way gratitude works against us. That's not this though. This is like being grateful for a job. It's like keeping yourself locked into salary because there's people that don't even have that, you know? It's being grateful for work, even though you don't even realize it's what's tying you down. It's that. So you're kind of releasing yourself from that mindset to release yourself from the constrictions of work. Not doing life at the moment, so close. Yeah, you're on your way to it, for sure. To doing what you love with your life, and then stuff sorts itself out. Barbara's up next. Mimi, was one of your yeses to a reading? I don't know. Barbara? Because the comments, they're all lagged. There's a lag on this. Barbara. Touch and success. It's funny the way the universe works. When we're on track to something, it'll give us a taste of success. And then, especially when we've got our own businesses, we think this can be consistent now, and then it doesn't get consistent. It's just the carrot dangled in front of our nose. So we get a touch of success so that we can carry on going in that direction. And then we self-motivate because we've already got that lead kind of thing. It's already got us convinced that we've got to go down this direction. You've got that going on, Barbara. And again, it's not so much about the work. It's like inner success, this is about you being happy, you feeling better about yourself, you being good with yourself, being supported. It's nice. It feels like a totally new approach. Well, the card says that. But this is like a past thing. You're open to support now, and that's why you're changing how you feel about yourself. So your success, it's like you've got a touch of it, the outer success, to keep you going in that right direction. But the inner success is what's really important at the moment. That approach, you're getting support to feel better. Then your outer success is going to come. So you've had a taste of it. You probably wished that it would carry on. But it will eventually. So those carrots, Barbara. Mimi. Mimi's next. Oh, slow down, Mimi. You're sabotaging yourself by trying to rush ahead. Those herbs that you planted, you're pulling them up too soon. It's that kind of thing. It's wanting to reap the rewards before it's ripe. It's pulling the apple off the tree before it's even ripe. You're going too fast. You need to slow down, take things one step at a time. Maybe you're thinking to jump ahead, to leap ahead. So your freedom, Mimi, you're a little bit too free. I don't mean it like that. I mean, you can leap a little bit too fast. It's like freedom. Somebody who has like no, I'm not saying this is you, but this is just an example. Someone that has no like self-discipline and has no healthy patterns in the life, you could look at them and say, wow, they're completely free. But then they're not. They're kind of in this wayward, I'm thinking like somebody that doesn't look after themselves at all. Someone that's like drinking and taking drugs and just doing whatever. It can seem like complete freedom, but they're not going to feel that inner success like I was just talking about with Barbara. They're not going to feel that inner success. And I feel like, Mimi, you're teetering on the edge of that. This is saying slow down, have more structure, going slower kind of thing. Because that would actually lead to more freedom for you. And I see that in myself, like in the last weeks, with the massages that I've been having in the last week and not being able to train. I've gone back to training now, but when I wasn't able to train, I was socializing a lot more. And I felt that wayward thing, I felt that the loss of my usual healthy patterns and how it was causing the lack of freedom. So, initiate connections, people. Mimi. It's like once you slow down and you get into more regulated patterns that are good for you, Mimi, different people are going to come into your life. Yeah, it's like me. So when I first moved to this island, I was partying all the time and doing that. Then I stopped doing that, and I stopped drinking, and I stopped going out. Then my friendships changed. Then I made friends with all of these people that had healthy patterns. Still party a little bit, but have much healthier patterns. That's what happened to me. You just don't have access to it. Just like I was talking about before, you don't have access to it when you're in a different vibration. You only have access to the people that are the same vibration as you. Not necessarily good for you. Always been a fast girl. And that's good in a way, because you can take action on things, But this is saying you don't need to live your whole life like that. That it's not giving you the freedom that you want when you're being like that in every area of your life. It would actually help you to have some more regimented, I don't really mean regimented, some more kind of a fixed life pattern kind of thing. And you're going to actually bring people in to your life like that are more like that. Self 345. What's your name? I can't remember. You probably told me before, but I had a day in bed yesterday. As my mum used to say, I've slept since then. If she didn't know something, that would be her excuse. I've slept since then. Self 345. You're welcome, Barbara. Oh yeah, you had a love reading. Did that in bed yesterday. Who am I doing? Self 345. Oh, people. Your ideas and people. This is about you following your interest. That's it, Dita. You following your interests and then bringing in people that are interested in that same thing. I feel like you've got people around you in your social circle. It could be an online social circle that are interested in things that you were interested in before, but your interests are actually changing. But you're trying to keep you're trying to keep your interests in line with these old people, but your interests are actually changing. There's new people that can come into your life, but you need to allow them in. So it's like you're in a club, could be like a healing club or something. You're in that club, you're thinking you like those people. I used to think that when I was living in Byron Bay, that I was like these healers and stuff, and I kind of am, but kind of not too. I'm way more down to earth than them. I'm not all the fluffy crystal unicorn I'm not like those people at all. And I had to break free of all of that and realize that that's not me. I've got a similar kind of vibe from you as well. You're in this circle of people that are not really like you, but you fit in there better than you fit in other places. Now it's time to fit in where you belong and allow that. Allow yourself to move on from that club that you're in, you put yourself in, to move on to people that are even more like you. So it's about owning your idea, owning your interest now, owning who you are. You're welcome, Mimi. Who else? Did I miss anybody? Anyone else want a reading? And the ferries are starting up from Champagne in 2 days, which means my dentist can come back, which means next weekend I can get a filling. Maybe she'll be here for longer now because there'll be a lot of people need dentistry. Maybe she'll come for a week or something. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. So yeah, if anyone wants one of those money abundance reads with a twist of love, I'll put the link up again for that here in the comments. So this is the last weekend that they're going to be 60 Australian dollars. Next weekend, 75. Because a weird thing happened. So my prices always used to be in US dollars on my website because, and sorry for you Americans, but Americans tend to be less worldly wise and don't understand other currencies, whereas pretty much every other country doesn't have that. And so everyone is paid in American dollars for things. So it's just easier to have a website in American dollars because the Americans seem to be the ones that struggle with paying with other currencies more than anyone else. And so I always did, but then I couldn't anymore. When my credit card processor changed, I had to have it in Australian dollars. And so at the time, my readings were 88 American dollars. And at the time that converted to 120 Australian dollars. But now that's less than $80 in American. And so it's like my prices went down without going down, if you see what I mean. So anyway, my prices are good. The basic reading will be 150 Australian dollars from Monday onwards. And that's 100 American dollars. So it seems like a bit of a leap, but it's not. Not to me anyway, if you know what I mean. But that's what it'll be. Just to let you all know. So if you want a guidance reading or anything, get in this weekend before it goes up, because as soon as the sale finishes, it'll be up. But still, the half price reading sales, still great value, 75 Australian. What does that work out to be? That'll be 50 American. So still great value. Thanks everyone for coming along. And for all of your support with my YouTube channel too. It's been great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not going to do the monthly reads I've stopped doing the moon ones, and I'll stop doing the monthly ones too. It's enough. It's enough doing the weeklies and the bonus reads, I think, and I'm getting a lot of enjoyment from them. You want to see I got a bit creative this week. Tonight I'll be publishing the weekly reads for each star sign, but I'll also be doing the publishing the one for all signs. The one for all signs I did differently. Hey Tracy. The ones for all signs I did differently this time, because I did usually on a day I will do the 12 weekly reads and do the 13th as well. Do the one for all signs, but I forgot to do the one for all signs, so I had a whole day to do it, like it was the only reading that I was doing. So I got a bit creative and did it in a different style. So wait till you see that. It's more fun. I might do more like that. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming along. I'm going to order my breakfast now because I'm hungry. Hey Corey. Come earlier, you guys. Come at the start. Thanks everyone for coming along. See you next time. Bye. Spider.